Suburbans and that task force to go get the kids with autism, well, that's Chris Zano. And that's Chris Pello. And it can't be me. I can't do it. Guess what? You don't have a freaking choice! You have to do it! You guys get that? These kids are dying. Their literal lives are in your hands. And until we get this into our skull, into this 6 inches of skull that it sometimes takes to break people, we are going to have a world that is ruined. Listen to this. $3.2 million. $1 million is the estimated lifetime cost to care for a child with autism. $3.2 million from the CDC. That's an additional $4,000 to $6,000 per year above what a normal, healthy child gets in America. We know how healthy they are, right? Now, multiply that by 500,000. Think about that. You can't, because that number is so hard to come up with. 500,000 times 3.2 million. That's called crisis, fallout, disaster. You guys feel me? That's what's going to come, and it's already here. That's what's sad, and many of us just don't know. We haven't faced the facts. But what are the real casualties? The real casualties are those babies and those kids. The real casualties are when the parents are so frustrated and so fed up, and they're on the antidepressants. And then guess what happens to their ticker? They lose it. And then they get a knife. And then they kill their own child. That's a casualty. Katrina, hurricane, 1,836 deaths. 9/11, 3,000 deaths. 500,000 potential casualties waiting for you. That's what they're waiting for. I gotta tell you a story. I'll lighten it up a little bit. My son was riding in the car on a play date with his buddy Ryan, and they're in the back. And his buddy Ryan had his Band-Aid on his arm. So you know what that means. Ryan got the flu shot. So Ryan, my son, says to him, "Why do you have the Band-Aid on your arm? What happened?" And he says, "Well, I got the flu shot." And my son, he's almost 8, he says, "Oh, we don't give flu shots. Those are bad." and Ryan, and literally the mom had no idea. Ashton, my son, told us the story. The mom didn't tell us the story. She, these days, mom's driving a minivan, a phone, a Happy Meal, who knows what. But Ashton's in the back, and he's like, "Yeah, we don't get those, are bad." And his friend asked the question. He said, "Well, I no, they're not." He goes, "Yeah, they are." He goes, "Well, why are they bad?" And Ashton goes, "Because they have calcium in them." So anyway, I said, "High five, man, way to go." But then I said, "No, wait, actually, Ashton, yeah, they have mercury in them." That would be what you meant to say. I know your heart was right. And I said this. I said, "Next time any of your friends ask you that, you tell them, God doesn't make junk. He didn't leave anything out. That's all you have to say. Period." So that's his new line. God doesn't make junk. We're working on that. So here's what I want you guys to know. That doesn't stop, right? So the lies that people are told, we don't want to talk about the lies. We want to tell the what? The truth. So if we tell the truth, guess what gets exposed? The lies. So all we do is focus on the truth. So here's what happens. Check this out. Ephesians. "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realm. Therefore, put on the full armor of God, so that when the day of the evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. Stand firm then, with the belt of truth buckled around your waist, with the breastplate of righteousness in place." That's what happens when we tell the truth. We've got to have the armor of God so that we are protected every single way that we can be. Because guess what? When you open up those floodgates, it'll come. Right now, this week, just on Tuesday, Supreme Court, vaccines in the gun. Wyatt is under, in the Supreme Court, the lawsuit that may change the way vaccines are viewed forever. It could be a 4-4 vote. They don't know yet, but it's coming to a head. That could change everything. My patient walks into her office with her 15-year-old kid who's seen the same pediatrician for 15 years, tells the doctor, "We're not vaccinated anymore. No tetanus shot, please." The doctor turns on them. Family friend turns on them. Won't even accept them anymore in his life. Joe Arbe's patient foster kids. They forced them to get vaccinated. That doctor looked straight in their eyes, straight in that patient's eye, and said, "The body makes mercury naturally. You don't have to worry about anything." Can you believe that crap? That's what the people are hearing. So we tell the truth, and then the lies just go, and they become exposed, and then the truth can come out. So here's what I want you to know. When you see these kids in your office, those of you who worked with a few of them, all right, especially at the beginning, before they get well, it's tough, right? It's challenging, and it takes the tools, the training, and the resources to have a massive impact on these kids. So let me tell you just a little bit about that. This is our Autism Whisperers Prevention and Recovery Program. That was not just my doing, by far. Dr. Renee, Robin Stetzel, my team, we put it together. It took us right around 12 months, almost a full